Why are they giving free vasectomies away? What does free vasectomies have to do with free abortions? I don't know, because they don't want people having a family. Before the fall, before sin ever even entered this world, God told Adam to be fruitful, to multiply, and to fill the earth and subdue it. Why? Friends, this show was so iconic. I remember watching it. And when I heard of the death of Matthew Perry, I was so saddened. The fact that he died of ketamine was, well, it was heartbreaking. And then to hear that five people are going to be charged because of their involvement in getting him this drug, I was like, there's no way this could be happening. And two of those people are doctors. I was like, are you kidding me? These are the people that have vowed and taken an oath to do no harm, to help people, to make sure that the sick get well, not to actually be involved in the death of giving an addict a drug that's going to kill them. But before we continue with that story, let's just take a pause. And then I turn the news and I hear about what's going on at the DNC. Now, at first I thought, you got to be joking. This has to be fake news. If there was ever fake news, this has to be fake news. There is no way they are doing free abortions and vasectomies and more at the DNC convention. I don't believe it. But a little digging. No, guys, it is true. I cannot believe that they are doing this. I was like, what in the world is going on? So then, of course, now normally I don't watch the conventions, just not my thing, sorry. But I was like, I have to watch. I have to see what's going to happen in this convention, and I need to know more. And then I saw what they did in regards to promoting the abortion and Roe versus Wade. And I was like, this is so sad. And let me tell you why I think it's really sad. First, understand that I have a daughter that's in her young 20s, and I have a 17-year-old son. So this age group, I'm around them quite often, and I kind of hear what they have to say, and we talk and we converse about different subjects and different topics. Now, I will say this, around 2/3 believe one particular way, and about 1/3 of them believe another way. I'm not going to tell you which group believes what. I'll let you figure that one out for yourself. But what I have learned is that the topic of abortion isn't something they're shy about talking about. Now, one group usually says this, for me personally, I would never have an abortion. I don't think it's right. But I also don't think that the government should be involved in any healthcare issues when it comes to women. When it comes to the women's medical issues, government needs to stay out. But then it led me to this question for this particular group. Why is it okay for the government to be involved and charging doctors and others in the death of Matthew Perry when it's not okay for them to be involved with women's medical issues? I mean, let's look at it, really. Matthew Perry was a grown adult. He was fully aware of the choices that he was making when he chose to take drugs, become an addict, get clean, and then chose another drug to help him with other issues. It took me a total of 5 minutes to get on the internet and look up the dangers of ketamine, the side effects of ketamine. Matter of fact, I do that with any prescription that I'm given. I don't care if a doctor's given it to me. I still check it out because I want to know. And if you don't want to look on the internet, there's this person that you get the drugs from. They're called the pharmacy. And the pharmacist will actually tell you these things if you ask them. It's quite interesting that you can do that. Just saying. But anyways, why can an adult not choose to take drugs, not choose to become an addict for themselves? Let's at least be consistent. If we're going to say that the government shouldn't be involved in any issues regarding health, then we're going to have to allow others to choose, I know, crazy and bizarre things like harming their body with drugs. I mean, consistency needs to be across the board. That's all I'm saying. Make the government stay out of the drug addict's health issues as well. If the drug addict is choosing as an adult, keep preferencing that, to do the drugs and they know what they're getting themselves into, then the government shouldn't be involved at all. When it comes to abortion, this group keeps yelling, government, stay out of my health issues. But wait a minute. Isn't it the same? As an adult, we know the potential repercussions of having sex, of chosen unprotected, and for that matter, even protected sex. There is a potential of getting pregnant. We know when we say yes to sex, we are also saying yes to the likelihood of getting pregnant. It's knowledge. We have it. We're adults. We make that choice. We know out of that pregnancy comes a life. It is a child. Yet it's okay for the government to say no to taking drugs, but it's not okay for the government to say no for taking a life. I don't really understand. I mean, at least be consistent if you're going to make these stances. The other question that people go to usually when this topic comes up is, well, it's not a life. Okay, well then what makes it a life? At what point does it become life is my question then. And normally my go-to people say this is their answer. And that is, well, it's life when it can sustain itself. So what you're telling me is, I don't know, probably on a good, mature, probably need to be on a farm, a good day, maybe 5 or 6 is when it's actually considered life. So my 1-year-old, 2-year-old, 3-year-old, they're not life because they can't sustain themselves. They still need someone to take care of them. They need someone to go to the grocery store and buy food so they can get fed. They need someone that's going to help them go to the doctors if they get sick. They can't do it on their own. So what you're telling me is there's no value in little children now. There's no consistency, guys. I just don't understand. Make it make sense for me, please, because it doesn't. When you break it down, this makes no sense. So then I started, like I said, I was digging into this, and so I started looking at other things like this.
When you're expecting a baby, packing for the hospital should be a joyful moment. For us, it was different. We were told with 100% certainty we would lose our baby girl, Willow, and we were sent home. For 3 days, we waited until Amanda was sick enough to receive standard abortion care. Eventually, Amanda's temperature spiked. She was shaking, disoriented, and crashing. I don't remember what I threw into our bag that day, only that instead of welcoming Willow, I was hoping Amanda's life could be saved. I'm here tonight because the fight for reproductive rights isn't just a woman's fight. This is about fighting. This is about fighting for our families. And as Kamala Harris says, our future.
Every time I share our story, my heart breaks. For the baby girl we wanted desperately, for the doctors and nurses who couldn't help me deliver her safely, for Josh, who feared he would lose me too. But I was lucky. I lived. So I'll continue sharing our story, standing with women and families across the country.
2 years ago, my husband and I were expecting our second child. Our daughter, Lauren, couldn't wait to be a big sister. I was getting ready for her 4th birthday party when something didn't feel right. 2 emergency rooms sent me away. Because of Louisiana's abortion ban, no one would confirm that I was miscarrying. I was in pain, bleeding so much my husband feared for my life. No woman should experience what I endured, but too many have. They write to me saying, what happened to you happened to me. Sometimes they're miscarrying, scared to tell anyone, even their doctors. Our daughters deserve better. America deserves better.
Now, again, I hear this one a lot. Well, it's different because pregnancies can hurt a woman. Now, there's medical issues involved. Yes, there is. And by the way, drugs can hurt me as well, which is why when you become an addict, they say you are slowly killing yourself because it's dangerous. Again, and it's the choice that you made. So be consistent across the board. But let's just go here. Let's look at what's going on with a woman's health. First of all, I've been pregnant 10 times. Every state has an exception on the ban of abortion for the woman's life being in danger. So that's one. 2, if the doctor's refusing to do their job, get a different doctor. I know I've done this because I had a doctor, and this was still in effect years ago when Roe versus Wade had not been overturned. I had doctors that didn't want to do the right thing. I went out and found another doctor. Find a doctor that's going to do the right thing. You don't have to stay with the doctor if they're not willing to do their job. But that's not a state issue. That's a doctor issue. So for people to use that as a means of saying that women should have the ability to have abortion with no boundaries, no limits, completely open for any reason at any stage at all, that's crazy, people. That is just so let me get this right. So people are using women's medical issues as a way to say it should just be a free-for-all for anyone. How do I know that's what they want? Look at the DNC people. They're offering free abortions. Why? Why are they doing it? What about incest? Well, wait, Chandy, there's more. Yes, you are correct. There are more. Let's look at the other video.
Growing up, I was an all-American girl. Varsity soccer captain, cheerleading captain, homecoming queen, and survivor. I was raped by my stepfather after years of sexual abuse. At age 12, I took my first pregnancy test, and it was positive. That was the first time I was ever told, you have options. I can't imagine not having a choice. What is so beautiful about a child having to carry her parent's child?
What about incest? What about this child being raped by her stepfather? Well, first let me say this. Sexual abuse of a child is absolutely horrendous. I hate it. It's disgusting. Sexual abuse to a child or an adult is just wrong. I don't agree with it. Matter of fact, I believe they should suffer the full consequences of their actions. My personal opinion, if they're going to use it like a weapon, they don't need it at all. This is when I think involuntary mandatory cutting should be good. But that's just the mama talking in me, and I'm just being real with you. But I digress. Anyways, let's get back to the topic at hand. This child, this girl, what she went through should have never happened to her. But what I find amazing in this is that there are so many questions that are not being answered with this short little story that they used. And that is, one, where were the people in her life that were stopping this abuse? Why is it she didn't feel like she had a choice until she got pregnant? What about the choices of running and getting help regarding the abuse? Where were those choices for her? This girl should have felt like she had so many choices way before she ever got pregnant. But the way she's making this sound right now is, okay, I had the ability to get the abortion, so therefore everything was great and wonderful. Because she had the freedom to abort an equally innocent life, because her innocence was stolen from her, that made it right. That made it okay. You know, my mama has a saying, 2 wrongs don't make a right. Really, don't get me wrong, guys. I understand why the DNC did what they did. What happened to this girl is tragic, and as a mama, it is heartbreaking. And everything in me just rises up with this complete righteous anger. And that's why they put this girl on stage. The DNC is trying to use the most extreme cases to pull at our hearts to justify why women should have the freedom to abort a child at whim. I don't see how these two equate. I just don't. And I have another question. What about all these abusers that use abortion to continue the abuse? See, this is the thing. Abortion doesn't stop the abuse. Abortion doesn't stop the rape. Abortion doesn't change her circumstances. All it did was make it for this person to continue to abuse her, which is what I noticed. When the girl shared her story, she said at 12 years old, she was raped by her stepfather and got pregnant, and that the abortion was her saving grace. But what happened to the abuser? Did he continue to abuse her at 13, 14, 15? I don't know. She didn't ever answer that. Did the abortion make the abuse stop? I don't know. It didn't answer that. I know statistically that is not the case, that a lot of times abortion is being used by the abusers to continue the abuse, which is telling me abortion isn't the answer. addressing and dealing with the abuser is the answer. So my next question kind of came up. Why is this even happening? What is going on at the DNC? Like, what is the root of all of this? And that's where I think this goes much deeper than what we are seeing on TV and social media. I think what's really going on is actually a deeper spiritual issue. And most people do not want to admit it or address it. Before the fall, before sin ever even entered this world, God told Adam to be fruitful, to multiply, and to fill the earth and subdue it. Why? Because family is the duct tape that holds society together. It is everything we need to be who we are. You know, I would have thought COVID would have really woke a lot of people up. It would have made them realize how much we need each other and how much we are made and built for community. We are designed to build relationships. Without family, life gets really messy, really fast, and really lonely. Family goes way beyond simply the people that know our embarrassing stories, that know all the crap we did when we were younger. It is woven into the very fabric of creation. From the start, God made it clear that it was not good for us to be alone. So what did he do? Well, he created a family first, setting the stage for love and support and for us just to strengthen each other and for us to create a little chaos in each other's lives, because let's be real, that's what family does too. God is all about family. He has been from the very beginning. Everywhere in Scripture, we see where he is trying to strengthen those bonds, where if it is loving our spouses like we're supposed to, kids obeying their parents guiding kids in the correct way, God's blueprint is for family. It is one of his greatest masterpieces. But what does the enemy do? That's the other question. We can't just stop there. We have to ask, what does the enemy do? Does he go around waving a red flag saying, I'm the enemy, here I am? No, he doesn't. That's not what he does. Satan is completely against everything good and everything godly. He is fully aware of God's purpose and plan for all things. Satan knows the value of family, and he has numerous strategies up his sleeve to undermine and destroy what God loves, what God has created. You do not have to be a Christian to see, know, and understand the importance of family. And for you to see the family structure at every turn is being undermined and trying to be destroyed. You don't need to be a Christian to see that. Matter of fact, I know a lot of people that aren't Christian, and they see it. The DNC, it is just one of numerous examples of where this is happening in our society right now. Turn on the news. It takes a total of 5 minutes for you to see the selfish desires that are being promoted all over the place, encouraging these young kids not to get married, not to have families, and material wealth. I mean, it is being highlighted everywhere that that's the important thing to have in our life. Drug addiction is at an all-time high. Childbirth is at an all-time low. Social pressures to create division, governmental division everywhere, people trying to divide us into different sects, genders, race. Religion is being attacked at every turn, especially Christianity. You know, it used to be that Satan would kind of be like in stealth mode, like you try to hide things. He ain't doing that no more, people. He is bold and in your face at every turn. And again, the DNC is a prime example of this. I cannot believe what they did. Why? Why are they giving free vasectomies away? What does free vasectomies have to do with free abortions? I don't know, because they don't want people having a family. Because, and I know, again, I'm going to say this, people that don't believe, you can see it, regardless if you're a believer or not. But I think if you're a believer, you understand a deeper thing is going on here, that this is a spiritual battle that is happening right in front of our faces. The key to resisting Satan right now and his attack and not believing the lies is living God's design. Living God's design is building a family, is fostering love, having respect for one another, even if you do disagree. You don't have to agree with me to see the importance of family. You don't have to agree with me because you aren't a Christian or because you are a Christian to sit here and see that it is important to respect one another and to have good moral leadership in our country. Now, I think that leadership should be godly leadership. I think being bold for God and being bold for His word is what we need in this country right now, which not only protects the family, but it glorifies God as well. We have to stand up for what is right, even if it hurts us. Matter of fact, I actually think it's going to hurt us, to be truthful with you. I know it's not a popular belief. Doesn't mean it's not true. What the DNC did this year was reveal exactly what is important to them, exactly what they care about, and it is not family. And that saddens me deeply, because I don't care what party you're with. I don't care if you're with any party at all. The fact is we need the family. It is the duct tape that holds us together. We need it. It's not something we want. It is a need. If you like this content, would you subscribe for me? We have more coming.